It's Wednesday, it's noon, so it's time for Fit and Chips Live. Hi, I'm Amanda. You are joining me in my new home. It's the first podcast from my new house, my enormous house in Houston. I don't know what I've decided to do, but here's the thing. If you look around, I have no furniture. I'm sorry, I'm just going to turn my phone off. It's beeping away. That was very badly timed by me. There we go. So anyway, it's fun. I'm here for 4 years and I just thought I'd thoroughly enjoy myself. So I am going to talk today about my podcast. My podcast goes live every Wednesday at noon. Now, there are 2 episodes available for you to check out. Now, the first one is my story. So I've sort of been on this journey, and I've come to a place where I've started really talking about women over 40, especially those going through hormonal disruptions. And so that's become like my thing. And there's obviously got to be a reason for me doing that. Now, what happened is I've been a trainer for a long time and started going through hormonal disruptions myself because of perimenopause, and they actually sidelined me for, still sideline me, but they knocked me for a 6, and I had no idea that this was what was happening to me. And it took me a few years to get answers from medical teams, and there were no resources out there. And so after speaking to many women, I've realized that we need resources to help women through this challenging time. And my perspective is I come from it from a nutrition and exercise point of view. And I reach out to experts who are in other fields that are outside of my scope, gynecologists, pelvic floor physiotherapists, psychologists, and the such like. And my story is a continuing one, and it's continually a challenge for me. I mean, the first few days of me moving into the house had me with a migraine for 5 days. So I understand what it's like to have challenges that are really difficult to focus. Challenges are really difficult for us to continue through the day, I should say, not to focus. Ones that really just mean we want to pull back and actually, not do anything that day. And I've realized that over the time that's an absolutely okay thing to happen. Meaning, if I have a day where I can't function, then guess what? That day I don't function, and now I do it with no judgment, and it actually has made my life a little bit easier by removing blame and shame with it. Now, another thing that's happened to me is, and I'm smiling away here as I say, I'm depressed. By the way, look at my nails. Please don't judge me. I just painted nails upon nails upon nails, and then I sat and picked them all off. I'm going to fix this later today, but honestly, first world problems, hey? Hi, Bridget. Oh my God, what do you think of my hair, Bridget? My hairdresser's just come on. I hope she likes it, because I haven't found anybody like her in Houston. Like, I miss her so much. I'm going to fly her down. So the depression side of it has been really the hardest thing for me. I thought the migraines were the hardest, but actually the depression has been the hardest for my whole family to deal with because it's impacted them all. So I've just written an article for Girls Gone Strong. And what I've done is I've got to the stage now where even when I am as depressed as I can get, which is really quite bad now, I've come up with strategies that help me look positively at the situation, which sounds like an oxymoron, but thank you. I love you too, and I miss you too, Bridget. And I'm talking about the depression, and I know that I'm relating to a lot of people here. And so now I've started looking at the positives about this, and that seems like a strange thing to say, but they really are positives at the end of this. And because some of the things that have happened is I've actually started to take a step back. I've started to do self-care. I've started to look after myself. And these are things that I never did before. I used to just plow through life and absorb everybody else's stresses and energies and never realize the impact that this had on me. So that's one of the positives that have come out of it. One of the other things is I've realized that, life is really precious. And you've got to look after your health, and you've got to take care of yourself. And I know that is an obvious thing to say, but it's something that we sort of take for granted. And so it's really made me sort of like step back, take stock, and say to myself, you know what? What's really important to me right now in my life? What's going to benefit me? What's going to benefit my family? What's going to give me the optimal quality of life that I deserve and that my family deserve? And so my role in the fitness world is coming now from a huge holistic point of view. It's coming from a point of view where it really is important for me now, not to just look at if I've exercised intelligently that day, or even moved well, or gone for a walk and done something that benefits my health, but also the nutrition side and the wellness side, the psychology side, the mindset side. Like, when people used to talk about mindfulness, I used to say, oh, you bloody hippie, I'm not going to do any of that. But when I realized what mindfulness really means, it really just means taking stock and finding time for self-care and evaluation. And whether that means you taking time to meditate or sitting with a coffee. I represent, by the way, here, Canada, I represent. I sit down with my thing is I sit down with a quiet coffee and I just sit and I don't think about anything, and I just try and just reclaim the day. Anyway, so that, I hope you take the time to listen to my story. And the only reason I share it is because I believe we all have a story, and I just want people to realize they're not alone. And I think that sharing and talking about things really helps people feel like they belong, and there's a community of us crazy hot menopausal women out there, and we should all stick together. The other podcast is from a good friend of mine called Fabienne Marier. She's a Quebecois, so you've got an English and a French Canadian talking, so there's a mixture of accents there. But she talks about reframing your worth, which sort of follows on from everything I've just spoken about feeling small, but wanting to be big in this world. And women in general, I think, start to feel as though we become unimportant or maybe incapable. And we've always as well been encouraged to be small in our voice and small in even our bodies. I mean, aren't we? Everything you see about women is small, and it's just harmful. So her interview with me is really great because she actually has changed the way she completely does her life, and it's just an inspiring story. So she's come from being a person that really didn't feel happy or content in her life, and she's just changed everything about it, even to the point where she does burlesque dancing, and that's such a cool thing. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it was for her, and she finally took the steps to do something that stepped outside of her small world and expanded and changed her job and changed her outlook and her family dynamic. And it's a really inspiring story. So I hope you take the time to check it out. So that's all for me. I just wanted to introduce those podcasts and say hello. And I'll be here again next Wednesday. And this is an opportunity for people to tell me the things they want me to talk about, to write about, to just to bring a conversation to the present, because nobody else is talking about it. So let's start the conversation ourselves. So thank you for joining in. Take care, and I will see you again next Wednesday at noon. Bye.